Hey Canucks fans, hope you are well. We have some big news as the Canucks reduced their preseason roster by 13 players just now. And I think we're starting to get a better indication of what the battles are going to look like for the final roster spot. So let's go over this. The Canucks dropping this news on X just now. 13 players, two basically groups of players. The first group, 4 players who have to clear waivers to get to Abbotsford. So that means they have some combination of their age plus number of professional games played. So these 4 players are Phil Di Giuseppe, which I find really interesting. We'll talk about that. Phil Di Giuseppe, Nate Smith, the 2 forwards, and then we have defenseman Christian Wolanin and goalie Jiri Patera. So I'll get to those guys in a second. Di Giuseppe, Nate Smith, Christian Wolanin, and Jiri Patera. Then the other 9 players do not have to clear waivers, so you can send them up and down without any risk of losing them. This is because, again, a combination of age, their status, and the number of games they haven't played as pros. And that's forwards Linus Karlsson, Jonathan Lekkerimäki, Ty Mueller, and Max Sasson. Defensemen Christian Felton, Cole McWard, Kirill Kudryavtsev, and Elias Pettersson, DPD, and goaltender Nikita Tolopilo. So once again, Canucks reduced their roster by 13 players. They have one more preseason game on Friday, and then everything starts for real on Wednesday, October the 9th. So let's talk about the 9 guys quickly that have been assigned to Abbotsford that do not have to clear waivers. No surprises here. Linus Karlsson, he had a small taste of, I think he played in the playoffs last year, didn't he, with the Canucks? So didn't really do much during preseason to stand out, especially when you compare him to other guys who we'll be talking about in a second. Rookie Jonathan Lekkerimäki, he showed flashes at training camps, showed flashes in that first preseason game where he had a couple of assists, but ultimately didn't move the needle enough. And I think we all agree that he will do much better served by at least starting the season in Abbey. Maybe he's one of the first call-ups we shall see. Forward Ty Mueller and forward Max Sasson. Actually, Max Sasson played all 5 exhibition games, so he must be tired first and foremost. But I thought he was okay. But again, Mueller nor Sasson did enough to warrant staying in contention for one of the final roster spots. On D, no surprises here. Christian Felton, Cole McWard, who has played for the Canucks a few times, Kirill Kudryavtsev, who showed flashes, and I think he's great. I think it's great, especially for such a late round pick, 7th rounder last season, I believe. So I think he's the one guy that did impress me. And defenseman Elias Pettersson, who I want so badly to do well, but especially last night showed a lot of the warts in his game. Basically turns the puck over a lot, isn't the best decision maker, so another year in Abbotsford will certainly help him. And goaltender Nikita Tolopilo, no surprise, it would be him and Jiri Patera battling for starts in Abbotsford. So let's talk about the 4 guys then who need to clear waivers first to make it to Abbotsford, and then we'll wind up by talking about the guys that are still left battling for roster spots. So Phil Di Giuseppe. Actually, we can combine those 2 things. With Di Giuseppe going down, who I had kind of slotted in as a 12th or 13th forward, especially with Dakota Joshua out. So Di Giuseppe's going down, but both Aatu Raty and Arshdeep Bains are still up. So I'll talk about that, what that might look like. But yeah, Bains and Raty are up still, whereas Di Giuseppe's the one going down. So a little bit surprising to me, just because I know how much Rick Tocchet likes Phil Di Giuseppe, but obviously they think that maybe Raty and Bains can do similar things, and they're younger. So we'll see. So that's really interesting. For Nate Smith, we signed him, I think, as a free agent, and no surprise there. Christian Wolanin, who is always the best defenseman in Abbotsford, but never good enough to get called up and to play with the Vancouver Canucks. I think the Canucks like to go with, even though they're 2 right-handers, they usually go with Juleson and Friedman as 7 and 8. I'll get to that in a second. Wolanin's probably number 9 on the depth chart, so he goes down. I wouldn't be surprised if someone picks him up, actually. I'm impressed every time I see him. He's got good offensive instincts. He can skate, a good hockey IQ, so I'm really surprised. I will be surprised. I'm not trying to jinx him, but I'll be surprised if he actually makes it through this time. Just a hunch. And then goalie Jiri Patera, we signed him on July 1st as some insurance, but it'll be Patera and Tolopilo, like I said, battling for Abbotsford starts. So who does that leave? Well, we don't have to talk about the star players like the Millers, even though he hasn't played a preseason game yet. Pettersson, Besser, DeBrusque have only played 1 game each. But what that does leave is both Arshdeep Bains and Aatu Raty still at main camp, not even main camp, still with the team, with probably one more round of cuts to go before the season opener. Actually, you have to declare your roster by Monday, October the 7th. So basically just under a week from now. They are battling, to me, for spots vacated by Dakota Joshua. Nils Aman's up here too. So off the top of my head, let's not include Dakota Joshua right now because we know he's going to start the season. I am going to include Teddy Bluger, but obviously if Bluger's not ready to start the season, that's another spot that opens up. So we know, my guess, it's going to be Miller, Besser, and Heinen. My guess is going to be Pettersson, DeBrusque, and Sprong. And then maybe Aatu Raty does start the year between Connor Garland and Niels Höglander. And maybe then your fourth line is Bluger, Suter, and Sherwood. And if Bluger, I just combined that. If Bluger's not ready, then you can go Suter, Sherwood, and Arshdeep Bains. So there is a path where both Aatu Raty and Arshdeep Bains start the season on the opening night roster and dressed for that first game. If Bluger is ready, then I think it's only one of Raty or Bains that makes it, because you still have Suter, Sherwood, Höglander, Garland in your bottom six, right? Höglander, Garland, Suter, Sherwood, and then Bluger, and then one of Bains or Raty. And if Bluger's not in, then you can put them both in. See what I mean? And then you also have Nils Aman battling as an extra forward as well. So, but I would rather have Bains or Raty in the lineup over Nils Aman. You already have centers. If Bluger and Suter are healthy, you have your four centers down the middle, and now Aatu Raty is your fifth center. So really, maybe it becomes, now that I verbalize this, maybe it's a choice between Aatu Raty and Nils Aman, and maybe they both make the opening night roster, but one of them starts and one of them one of them plays and one of them is in the press box. Then on D, I think there's no surprises. You still have your top six of Hughes, Hronek, Susie Myers, Forbert, Desharnais, and then Julesen's number 7 to me, Friedman's number 8, and that's why everyone from Christian Wolanin down is sent down. That's why Wolanin, McWard, Kudryavtsev, Pettersson were all sent down today. So we're very close. To me, then, I think it really depends on if Bluger is going to be healthy. If so, then both Raty and Bains can make it in. If he is healthy, then only one of those guys makes it in. And I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Aatu Raty over Arshdeep Bains, but we got one more game to figure it all out. So Canucks fans, let me know your thoughts. Did you have the same reaction? As soon as I saw Phil Di Giuseppe's name, and as soon as I didn't see Raty and Bains' name, that tells me that's the last battle, basically, heading into the final exhibition game. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts, your comments. I love to read, react, reply. As always, tonight, online, my regular live stream at 11 p.m. where I'll get more of your feedback to these roster cuts. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Liu, Weight Loss Coach. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame franchise members. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, subscribing. On your way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, and definitely leave a comment below your thoughts on these roster cuts. I'll see you tonight at 11 p.m. for my live stream. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go.